most basic other outfit that you'll see priests wearing, particularly Catholic priests, is a cassock. Cassock is black. During the medieval period, the alb fell out of use. It wasn't really suitable for Northern Europe. And so people started wearing a cassock, which was normally made of wool, quite a heavy cloth. The cheapest cloth that they could find or that was available was black. And so cassocks were made out of black woolen material usually, as a way of keeping the priests warm. What's interesting about it is you can see in the structure that the white from my undershirt, not my alb, an undershirt, sticks out in the middle here. And as the church spread, and especially because priests were fairly rare, there were not enough priests to go around, so priests had to travel. And so what happened is that eventually they made a cassock that they could tuck into their trousers, and that became the clergy shirt that you see today. A remnant of that is essentially a shirt that you can tuck into your trousers that still has this appearance at the top, the collar of the cassock with the under thing showing through the undershirt. The thing, though, was that they would, on everyday wear, they'd walk around in their cassocks, as many other people wearing very similar outfits too, but they decided that it was a problem to serve at the Lord's table wearing black, a color of death, as opposed to white, the color of life. And so what they would do is put what is called a surplice over the cassock. So the cassock is underneath because the white was a much more expensive fabric and also a lot harder to keep clean. But what they did was design a very simple white kind of overshirt called a surplice that they would flip on over the cassock, and then they felt that they were at least honoring the Lord by serving at his table in white. The basic outfit of cassock and surplice is worn often by everyone participating in the service in any particular form, including those carrying anything in the procession or participating in other ways. But you will notice that the different offices, you might say, of who's doing what are indicated by the stole. So priests would wear a stole like this. As I said before, deacons have a stole to the side that goes like that. And then other people, lay people who are participating, would not have a stole at all. This, of course, the stole is green, which is for ordinary time. And what you'll see on it is a big cross with a small cross in each corner. That's called the Jerusalem cross, which goes back to probably the 4th century, a symbol for the holy city, in a sense. So those are the basic vestments that you'll see being worn. Each has a purpose. Some are pragmatic, like the chasuble, simply to keep warm. Others, like the alb, symbolic of a baptismal robe, of the robe that we wear in the end times when we enter and process into the celebration before the throne, as we see in Revelation chapter 4. Another interesting aspect of this, both for the cassock and for the alb, was that when the barbarians invaded, the Goths came and sacked the city of Rome, they, coming from Northern Europe, actually wore trousers, pants. As soon as they took over and became the place of power and the people of power, everyone changed their fashions to start wearing pants. And it was the leaders of the church said, we're not going to get caught up in things like human fashion. We're just going to keep wearing our same old clothes that we've always had. And so the alb remained behind. And equally during the medieval period, as this spread to the north, people wore cassocks, and then as fashions changed, again, the church just said, you know what, we're not going to dress up in fancy clothes, we're just going to use the same old clothes as always, cheap and inexpensive, we'll wear cassocks. And so in both cases, the origin and even the tradition that has carried forward to today has to do with the church not trying not to be led by the fashion imperatives of the world, but simply to honor God by wearing simple, ordinary clothes.